Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. The SMG meta obviously has had a few standout options up towards the absolute best weapons in the game for some time now, but across the board, there are several great SMGs that you can run right now. Maybe you're looking for a slight change of pace from some of the top couple of options, or you just want to see how the meta balances out right now. Today, I wanted to break down the top 5 best SMG loadouts you can be running, and we're starting first with some detailed stat breakdown, courtesy of True Game Data. As always, the site is linked down below, and huge shout out to Tony for putting in the work and getting us all this information. But we got a handful of top tier subs lined up to break down. The Horus, which is just the base version of it, that's the better close range SMG. The conversion kit, the Scimitar, is better for more like sniper support style stuff. We got the Lockman Shroud, which I've seen a lot of talk about, the base Striker and the Striker 9, the Superi, which we know is crazy, the Swarm, the Wasp 9, and then now that they've fully updated the BP50 to have actual SMG ammo, it feels right calling it a true SMG. So when we go through and we look at 300 health and combination shot TTK for the most accurate graph, you can see things are pretty nutty. Like for the most part, I would consider to be 25, 30 meters and closer prime SMG range. So that's really where we're focused, right? And we can actually go through and knock down this range. We'll say 40 just to give us some room towards the end, but it's pretty easy in my opinion to narrow this down to a general top 5, right? For one, the Shroud, it's so good in its first damage range, but man, this thing falls off a cliff, right? Plus, it's got an MW2 feel. The thing is not all that fast or aggressive. And while its TTK is great up close, to me, it's definitely not a top 5 option as of right now. The Striker 9, also because the nerfs, while yes, it starts to shine a little bit more once you get out to, 15, 20, 25 meters. Being an SMG, that close range really does matter, and it's definitely noticeably one of the worst options up close as of right now. So unfortunately, that gets knocked off. And then the Swarm, kind of the same deal as the Shroud there. It's so good for 6 meters, but then falls off pretty severely. And that, conveniently enough, leaves us with 5 great choices: the Horus, the Striker, the Superi, the WSP9, and the BP50 conversion. So now that we've got the top 5 sorted, let's go through and break down the actual best setups for them. As we get into that, if you are enjoying the video, a like rating is always really appreciated. And if you're new here, this is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know about Call of Duty. So feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications to guarantee you're always up to date. So at number 5, I've got the WSP9. This one does have one of the best ranges in the game for its first initial effective damage range as an SMG, and that means it's got some really solid versatility where you can fight effectively at 5 to 10 meters, but also, 15, 20, 25 meters as well. So really do enjoy the feel of this thing, especially with this overall setup on here. Helps make it a bit more versatile and easier to use as well. So we do have the MK3 reflector on here. I hate the irons on this thing. They're just way too bulky. So I go for an ELO sight. A Night Hour here would work, a Slate, whatever optic you're comfortable with, feel free to run that. 50 round extended mag works fine with this fire rate, pretty basic there. High grain rounds on here are going to do the range and velocity benefits more efficiently than any of the barrels. So obviously extending out that effective damage range to basically 18 meters is very clutch, and that's a good velocity for SMG hit scan ranges. DR6 hand stop, better movement across the board, better ADS speed or strafe speed, general ADS speed as well, and better sprint to fire, so just keeping us aggressive. And then Zem 35 going to make the weapon easier to use. Minimal cons to our ADS and velo here, and then the better control obviously means we're going to be more accurate. So really enjoyed the WSP9, have loved this thing for some time, and it's still holding its own here as of right now in the meta. And number 4, I've got that BP50 conversion kit. It really does truly feel like a full-on SMG now. You're carrying SMG ammo. It's got close to SMG movement pretty much across the board. Really do enjoy the feel of this thing. I love the base BP50, as you guys know, so having an SMG version is also a ton of fun. I do got the Zem 35 on here. Yet again, same deals over on the WSP9. You're pretty limited on the other attachments you can run though, because you do have the Revenger kit on there. So I go for the Kimura laser, better ADS and sprint to fire, keeps things snappy and aggressive and closer to the base SMG stats there. High grain rounds to extend that range and that velocity out some. The Trust 4 grip tape just straight up for some better control. The idle sway con doesn't really matter when we're fighting like 20 meters and closer here. So while we're not able to use a stock or a mag or a barrel or an underbarrel, you still get a very effective setup here, all things considered. Hey folks, wanted to take a quick second and talk about gamer advantage. If you've been around the channel for some time now, you know about GA. You guys know in every single video, I am rocking these. And even when I'm not recording, I'm just sitting here gaming, I'm watching TV, whatever the case is, I got these things on because truly they are game changers. If you're trying to sleep better at night, reduce eye strain or your headaches, you gotta get yourself a pair. They offer prescription or regular lenses, so something for everyone. They've got you covered there. A bunch of different colorways and frame options so they can rock with your style there too. If you're interested at all in picking up anything from the Gamer Advantage site, be sure to toss in code Immortal at checkout, and that'll get you a nice little discount. The link for that's going to be down below in the description if you're interested. The Base Striker might be the most versatile SMG or second most versatile SMG in some cases. This thing's range for a sub is phenomenal. It's also very snappy and aggressive and pretty easy to use, especially with an iron sight build here. So I do generally love the feel of this thing as well. First up, I do go for the light stock. Just adds in a little bit of better mobility here. It's nothing too crazy, but it's something that keeps you nice and aggressive. You could try something like no stock, but you will feel the recoil cons a bit more as you fight out at 15, 20, 25 meters. 60 round extended mag again works just fine with this fire rate on here. DR6 hand stop for the better movement. Zem 35 compensator yet again. And then I go for the recon long barrel. This actually is more efficient for extending your range of velocity than using high grain. It's gonna, yes, slow down your sprint to fire a little bit, not a huge deal, and you're getting a good amount of range and velo out of this with no control cons or anything like that. So really effective way to keep this thing even more versatile than the base version. Love it. Now at number 2, I've got the FJX Horus. Keep in mind, again, this is just the base Horus where it is crazy good in the close range. It is snappy and aggressive as well, but its TTK is the best in the game in that first damage range. So if you are running and gunning with this thing, you are going to fry. So again, I'm not really a huge fan of the irons here. I find myself to be way more efficient when I am using that Night Model 2023, but if you want to use a glassless or a slate, feel free to do so there. I got the Ripper light stock, some general mobility benefits, really good strafe speed out of this, which I really love the feel of as well. 60 round extended mag, you definitely want this, even though you're not using the conversion kit where this is, you know, initially unlocked. You can spray and pray with 60, and with this fire rate, 60 as opposed to 48 is definitely felt. I also go for the Sin 9 long barrel, better range, better control on here too, which is nice to see. Some mobility cons, but we do gain them back obviously by using stuff like the Ripper light stock, and then also Zem 35 compensator on here once more as well. This is definitely a tried and tested Horus setup. I've gone through a lot of different variants, and this is the one that I've landed on truly as my ultimate favorite. And then lastly, surprise, surprise, we've got the Superi. This is the do-it-all weapon in the game, and it's clearly the best SMG, right? No significant changes to my setup. This is a strafe-based build, and it is so effective. Light barrel on here, better strafe speed. DR6 hand stop, better strafe, general movement, ADS, sprint to fire. High grain ammo extends out that range and that velocity some, so always convenient there. 40 round extended mag works all right with this fire rate, and then the cutthroat stock, great strafe speed, love the feel of that. So you are going to be flying and frying with this thing, and as we all know, this has been the #1 sub for some time now. No significant changes there, but that being said, those are the top 5 SMG meta loadouts to be running in Warzone right now. That's going to wrap things up. If you enjoyed the video or if you found it helpful, a like rating would be really appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out so you can always guarantee you're up to date with everything going on in Call of Duty. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.